I need to do our own version of Love
I
Line.
love that.
So we have the drip line.
What I'm attracted to in the bedroom is like polar opposite of what I'm attracted to for somebody that I want to be with.
Oh boy. Some days do you get a lot of severe muscle and joint aches?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, how'd you know that?
I just have no sex drive.
Yeah. Okay. Very common.
Since I learned so much from Loveline, I feel like I need to do our own version of Loveline.
I would love that.
So we have the drip line
The drip line
happening here.
I can't wait.
Where people are going to call in and tell us their drip. I have 4 people that I've reached out to anonymously, and they are going through things in their lives.
Wonderful.
Oh, look, we have our first
Okay.
caller. Caller, you're on the drip line. What's your question for Dr. Drew?
So my question is, I've been invited to a birthday party in 2 weeks for my best friend, and my ex-boyfriend is going. Should I go?
How ex is he? How long you been broken up?
8 months?
Who broke up with whom?
I broke up with him. but
Because
only
he cheated?
He wasn't a good boyfriend.
Yeah, you broke up with him
Wasn't-
because he was cheating, right?
Well, he just wasn't committed.
Stop with the euphemisms. Not committed means seeing other people cheating.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
He was saying other people. So I ended it, but I'm still angry at him. But it is my best friend's birthday.
Have you run into this person before?
I have. I ran into him on over New Year. He came to where I was staying, which was a resort, with his new girlfriend.
Oh, that was awesome. How'd that go?
Not great at all.
Okay.
And we obviously haven't spoken since, but I was angry that he did that.
Hey, what's with your best friend inviting him?
Yeah.
Because I actually met my best friend through him.
So they're good
Ooh.
friends. You know
They're
what?
good friends.
Go to the birthday party. Hold your head up high. Screw that guy. You stalk him on social media?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, I actually don't. And I've actually avoided him.
Good. If you can stay abstinent. If you can, by abstinent I mean no contact on social media or anywhere else. You could hold your head up high and go through there one night on behalf of your best friend. Don't stay too long. That guy.
And don't show up alone.
Yeah, go with somebody.
Go with
support.
somebody else.
But I'm also angry, and I've, by the way, never been angry before. Like, that's not an emotion I usually feel.
Well,
Caller.
we're proud of you, caller.
Caller, I'm going to tell you something. I recently went through a breakup, and I knew.
How recently?
This was in May.
Okay.
And I knew I was going to see my ex and his new husband at this
Husband
Christmas.
already?
2 months after we broke up. We're going to talk about this, Dr.
my
Drew.
God.
I knew I was going to see my ex and his new husband at this Christmas party. So what I decided to do is, I know that they go to the gym at a certain time. So I decided that I was going to put myself in that time frame so I can get it over with, tell them both hello, wish them both happy holidays,
yes.
just to break off the
Yes.
Band-Aid so I'm not a deer in headlights
Yeah.
in front of everyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, that helped me so much. And I truly am happy that they moved on and that they're good.
Yeah.
But it was nice to go through that moment, not in front of 30 people that you knew.
Okay, all right, that helps.
I bet you'll do fine.
Bye.
Bye. So what happened? Dude, that's
So
awful.
once I found out they were married, it was nice because for some reason in my mind, I thought, oh, these two are either crazy or crazy in love. Whichever one, they deserve one another. I think that's interesting that people go through breakups all the time and don't know when.
Well, the thing right now is young people. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Yeah, younger than you. They're not really good at forming and breaking relationships. They really don't know how to do it.
Oh, look, we have our second
Oh,
caller.
yeah, right on.
Caller, you're on the drip line. What's your question?
Hi, so my question is, I have a very, very specific type, and that type is literally like the only thing I can get a hard on for.
Okay.
Okay.
But what I'm attracted to in the bedroom is like polar opposite usually of what I'm attracted to for somebody that I want to be with.
Oh boy.
So how the hell am I going to find love?
Yeah,
if I
that's
can't
very
get hard
rough.
for what I should be with?
Yeah, let me just ask this, and you can, if you're comfortable answering.
Are you gay or straight?
I'm gay.
Okay.
Did you have any sexual trauma growing up? Let me explain. You don't have to answer
No.
that. Let me just answer. Because with what happens when people have any kind of sexual trauma, sometimes it splits them internally, emotionally, between a good self, which is not sexual, and a bad self that is sexual.
Yeah.
And it sort of gets a traumatized self. And that traumatized self is the only part that you can connect sexually with, because you've now split off the good from the bad. And the good self can only connect to somebody in non-sexual ways and can't even see that person as sexual because it brings back the bad stuff. So you kind of have to do a little bit of therapy to bring the two pieces together.
Sir, what's your type? Because you sound hot.
I usually go for Latino.
Okay. Is that your booty call type or your relationship type?
Call.
The booty call.
That's
What's the
booty call.
relationship?
What's a relationship type?
The relationship is usually black dudes.
Well, Justin will bring you around.
Yeah, we can do that relationship. We can turn these lights down. Let me also ask you a question. Was that first sexual experience for you, caller, the big booty Latin?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
So you
But
see,
it must have been a little bit traumatizing, which is why it split off. Good and bad.
caller, was your first sexual experience with the big booty Latin, was that when you were in the closet and trying to hide?
100%.
That's a trauma.
So it brought home a sexual orientation that he didn't want to admit to himself he had.
Yeah.
And that's overwhelming if you're young.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got to learn to expand your horizons the best you can. You really got to kind of work on not getting too narrow with your attractions.
Caller, I'm going to talk to you after this is over. Thank you for calling the Drip Line. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right,
I'm going to call back anytime.
that was good. That was good. That was good.
Oh, we have another caller coming in.
Very popular.
Caller, you're on the Drip Line. How can I help you?
Hi, Dr. Drew. Big fan. How are you today?
Great. Does everyone you speak with have an English accent? Is that everyone's calling from England? Is that the deal?
It's an Australian accent.
Australian
He's
accent. Okay.
Australian.
She's calling from Australia.
I just have a question to you about chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yeah.
So I got it after a bad bout of mono, and I'm like very open to taking like the traditional route of medicine versus the alternative. You know.
Well, slow down. Were you formally diagnosed with mono? You actually had the serum titers and the blood
Yes.
test? Okay, so you had mono.
Yes.
When was that?
I was diagnosed with it at the end of 2016.
And it was a febrile illness where you were sick and the whole deal, right?
Yeah, it was the
Okay.
whole thing.
All right,
It lasted
and
a
then
few
you kind of
months.
never got well. Is that correct?
Correct.
Oh, jeez. Those are really
So,
hard.
yeah, it was a bit of a drama.
Yeah.
And then I was like diagnosed with chronic fatigue
Okay.
after that.
Let me just say that, as you know, as someone who suffers with this, there's a million ideas, and then no one has the answer, and everyone claims to have the answer, and I'm sure you've tried 100 things that haven't worked. Is that accurate?
That's very true.
Yeah. How's your sleep?
It's one day 3 hours, one day 17 hours.
Oh, how'd you
Yeah.
know that?
Because the sleep disturbance is usually part of chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia. Do you also have fibromyalgia? Or on
I'm not too sure.
so on some days do you get a lot of severe muscle and joint aches?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
I can't get out of bed.
and you've been worked up rheumatically to make sure you don't have rheumatic conditions of any type?
Yes.
You have to find a way to restore sleep. If you can get a normal sleep cycle going, it will improve your symptoms at least 60 to 70%.
But how do you do that?
It's really hard. And so I say it matter of factly, like, just get your sleep right, you'll be fine.
Drew just gave you
But-
no hope.
yeah,
He
no,
was
no.
like, oh, it's hard as
No, but you can. But rather than focusing on the fatigue and the joint aches, focus on the sleep.
Does sleep have that much to do with?
Oh, huge. And I've been observing this for a decade, and I came upon it. And I was like, God damn it, sleep is really the issue in this stuff. So I think that's why antidepressants work sometimes. So you can have you been down that path?
I tried to avoid it.
Okay,
Do you
but
recommend it?
but hang on, not for the depressant effects, for the sleep effects. All right, maybe a way to avoid that whole antidepressant trap.
Yeah.
Go to a sleep specialist and maybe get a formal sleep evaluation and get your sleep hygiene assessed and get some real suggestions. There's a lot of stuff you can do with sleep these days. So why not be in the hands of a specialist? How about that?
Okay, I'll try that. I haven't tried that
Beautiful.
yet. So yeah,
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Good luck. Very, very,
Oh,
it's
wow.
tough. It's tough.
That's some great.
Thank you, doctor.
You bet. Good luck.
What about me?
You?
Caller, thank you for calling. You're on the Drip Line with Dr. Drew and Justin. How can we help you?
Hi there. So I'm calling because I'm struggling. I have a 3.5-year-old, almost 4-year-old, and ever since he was born, I I just have no sex drive.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Very common.
the-
Listen, very, very, very
and
common.
even the lubrication is different, if
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you on any medication?
No medication.
No birth control pills. No nothing.
No, nothing.
No depot shots.
No,
Okay,
no.
good. Because
nothing.
those things will really screw up your sex drive, and people don't ever tell the patients that. People meaning doctors.
No, they don't.
Number one. Number two, they also don't tell you that God doesn't want you to have one kid right on top of the other, so He drops your sex drive for a little while.
Oh, is that really what
yeah.
happens?
And if you are you still breastfeeding?
No.
Okay. When did you stop?
I stopped at about 6 months.
Okay. Have you talked to your gynecologist about this?
He just says that it can be very normal.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't really give me any insight on what to do.
All right. You
He
might
just
want
said that
you.
it can be normal.
Yeah, it is normal, but he can also fix it.
Let me ask you
So-
this question.
What
Yeah.
can he do?
Let me ask you this question. Ma'am, how many hours a day do you work a day?
Ooh, I probably work about 8 hours.
And then you come home and tend to your child?
Correct.
Bitch, you're tired.
Yeah, and Justin is right. Justin,
You're tired.
and that is a major piece of this always. But I don't want to overemphasize that because women always do that. They always blame themselves. I'm just tired. I love about it's the relationship. It's this that. It's the biology much more often than not. And so they can give you some hormones to kickstart things. And once they kickstart it, sometimes it really gets going again. Now, if your gynecologist isn't sort of familiar or comfortable with that, look for a gynecologist with some endocrinological training, because they're doing a lot of this now, and a lot of women, when they get it started back up again after having struggled for a
They
while,
can't stop.
they're pissed. They're like, Jesus, why didn't somebody do this sooner? What a relief! Because the other thing that happens when you're like this hormonally is you get depressed.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Are you single or are you still married?
I'm still married.
You're still married. Do you feel sexy?
No.
But
You don't think that's part of it
is,
either?
It is. And but
100%.
100% what?
That's probably part of the problem.
part of it,
That has
but-
something to do with it.
It does, and the relationship. Women always go through this inventory. Okay, is it the relationship? Am I doing enough? Am I taking care of you? Am I too fat? Am I blah blah blah? But they blame themselves like crazy, and all that's good. That's all good and important to do those checklists and get through all that and check it all out. But all the reason I'm pushing hard is nobody supports you on the biological end. You don't think about that. I want you to think about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And always remember, what one woman won't do, another one will, girl.
Oh,
so
dude,
you gotta,
don't do that.
No,
Don't
no.
do that to
So
her.
what I'm telling you is, when I feel tired and I got a headache and my back hurting, but I hadn't touched my man in 7 days, I know that mother is gonna step out and go do something with someone else. So I gotta take that ibuprofen, throw in that salon pause, and get down to business.
That's a nice message. It's very quaint, very, but, and I'm sure she's a diligent wife and that kind of thing. Just she wants to be a part of.
But it can be the body, too.
Yes, often.
But let me ask you this question. How many times a week or a month would you say on average that you're having sex or any kind of sexual contact with your husband?
Good thing you're not married to Justin.
Oh, I'm going to take inventory. How often do you think you're having in a month?
Ooh, maybe once a week.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty-
for having early child, because childhood is when everything drops down. Satisfaction, sexual contact, everything goes down.
Not because I'm like yearning it. My
No, I know.
body's desiring it.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
You're going along with it. You're going along with it, which is
I'm
very.
doing what Justin said.
What was it like before you had the baby?
Constantly.
Yeah.
And you would touch me and I would feel it everywhere.
Is your husband complaining?
I mean, he can always complain.
And
but
Justin,
he's a
I
smart
know
man,
you're going,
so
and
he's not.
I support everything you're saying. It's not wrong. It's just these poor women really get depressed and suffer, and it's a part of themselves that's missing
Yeah.
when this biology is off. And you heard how gloriously she describes her sexuality. She's got it, and now it's all bleh.
Yeah.
And that is, it is child rearing, it is stress, it is working too much, it is being tired, it is the relationship, and it is the biology. So see if you can get some help with that. Okay.
Good to know. Thank you.
Thank you for calling the drip line.
Thanks.
Dr. Drew, can we drip again?
Yes, do it.
Can we drip again on the sip? Can you come here
I can
again?
sip and drip
and
anytime.
we're
I
gonna
can drip and
we're
sip
gonna
and
set
be
this up, and we're gonna put
Talk
fillers out.
all
We're
the
gonna
same
talk
time.
all the time. Thank you so much for being here.
See you, man.
Like what you saw? Hit subscribe. You don't want to miss any new episodes of Just a Sip, and you can catch up on any past episodes. The tea was hot, I'm telling you.